Hello friends, this is Olga, Ukrainian citizen and Ukrainian mature medical student. Today I will tell you about Kupiansk. Of course, it's not medical topic, but anyway, the war in Ukraine is the most tragical and important thing that I can tell you about in my channel. Why Kupiansk is a city that extra important for both armies, Ukrainian and Russians, and that fact that Ukrainian army returned this city is really very important for us and very bad situation, very bad news for Russians. That's Kupiansk. It is a city, not a big city in the Kharkiv region, and Kharkiv is a region that borders with Russia, and a lot of roads they on the way to Donbass, on the way to actually most of occupied territories by Russians now, they pass Kupiansk. So Kupiansk is like a hub for a lot of roads, for a railway, I guess, and for simple roads for cars also. And so Russians, when they captured Kupiansk, it was very essential event for them, because it means that most of all this half of the year they used this hub, these roads and this city to deliver there and to distribute in the following all soldiers or troops, all military machinery, and everything they need, like for example food or fuel for the army. So Kupiansk, it's really important city. It's a really big hub. It's like a Jankoi city in the Crimea. And of course not all on the 100% roads they pass Kupiansk from the Russia to Donbass, but a lot of them. And that fact that Ukrainian army, they returned Kupiansk, and they cut these ways to feed the Russian army on Donbass. And I can remind you that on Donbass, Russia, they concentrated the most of the army. It's the most numerous and powerful parts of the army, and they still had opportunity and power to capture at least some small territories. And they goal, why it happened, because Putin gave an order, a task to capture Donetsk region, because they almost captured Luhansk region. There may be two villages just that they do not control totally in Luhansk region, but anyway they said that they completely captured it, and now they want to capture Donetsk region. That's why the most of the Russian army concentrated exactly there. And that fact that Kupiansk now will control Ukrainian army, and if Ukrainian army will be able not just to capture as they did, but to preserve it, do not lose it in the following days, because Russia will try to return it, of course. That fact will means that Russian army will starving, will be without shells, without fuel on the Donbass, and the numerous equipment they had and soldiers will be just useless, and they became very easy goals to capture for Ukrainian army. Of course not easy, because it cannot be easy, but anyway the potential will be become weaker from day to day. So Russians, they actually shocked about this fact, and Putin even for today connected with this event, he calls for the union, or how to say, the advisors of Russian security. It's the most important ministers, like Minister of International Cases, Minister of Russian Defense, Minister of Inner Cases, like means police, and other. And they will try to decide what to do, because with the fact of capturing Kupiansk, There, maybe if you will watch on the map, there you will see that like how to say, the bag so-called appeared. So the Russian troops, maybe 10,000 of Russian soldiers could be surrounded by Ukrainian army, because I told you about this bag. It's like, of course, not official name, but it looks like a pocket, and they are inside this pocket, and Ukrainian army from this side and from this side, and so for them it's a completely very very dangerous situation. That's why Putin is really worried about this. And I can remind you that before they planned to make to make the voting for connect it with that fact that these occupied territories, like the people who lived on these occupied territories, wants votes for that to join these territories to Russian Federation. And of course, not a lot of people on that territory that don't want it, so this will be like fake voting. But anyway, for rest of the world and for people who will believe, could believe in that, because as I understood, a lot of people, even in Europe, not a lot, but some people, especially elder generations, they even believe and they even repeat this sentences of Russian propaganda. I don't know how they where they watch this, but anyway, for such a people, this voting will be like truly fact that these people on the Ukrainian territories wants to join to Russia, which is not true. Of course, some of people there could be such people betrayers, but not all. And also I want to tell you about yes, and sorry, I didn't finish my opinion that, and what I wanted to say, that because of Ukrainian attack now, they wanted to make this election in the 11th of September, but now they want to change it. They said that it will be the 4th of November. It's like some day of Russian unity or something, and they want to do it later. But of course you understand why. It's just because of Ukrainian attack, and that's why they changed their mind. And also I want to tell you about my not experience, sorry, my memories about this Kupiansk connected with this city. Because I had them, and on the very beginning of the spring, maybe first 10 days or 2 weeks of war, it was very very scary time. I was in the Kiev region, and Russians were very close to my place where I was. They captured Irpin, Bucha, maybe you remember. Also they tried to attack the Brovary. It is also a small city in the eastern north from Kiev. So it was the days when in Irpin, Makarev, Bucha was just a mess, and Russians killed people, and I was afraid that they will be near me, close, very close and very soon. And the problem was that I had no food. All stores were closed, and only the people who had some yards with chickens, with I don't know, ducks, they feeding with garden, and they plant something there, but we hadn't that at all. So I usually bought some food, and for those people like me, it was a really bad time. And one neighbor told me that the woman our family knows, she can help me, she can give me some food, of course not for free, but anyway it will be some food and I will not starving. And I went to her and asked if she have something, And she said yes. And actually, this woman, she is Russian. She's natively Russian, and she started to tell me about that the Ukrainians in this village where I'm living offend her much, and when she speaks Russian, when she even tried to help someone, and this person in need hears that she says in Russian some words, this person refused to take this help, and also there is some problem with authorities because she is Russian. And actually, it was not all true. I know that she was lying, and actually, I didn't want to talk about her about this, and I didn't know why she tell about this, all this about to me. And I understood that she is afraid. So she afraid of war, and she afraid that fact that she is Russian. And I don't see any problem because I didn't see any problem because if her life was, for example, before war, because she told me about all these bad facts with her, like happened before war. If you don't like this place, you just may leave to Russia and leave. If you're feeling some pressure, which is not true, by the way, because I had in my environment some people, Russian people, Russian speaking people, and no one paid attention to them in Ukrainian society. No one, was no any problems. Of course, if these people will openly support Russian aggression, Russian invasion, this all killing, that in this case, of course, will be problems. But anyway, I may add that these people, such kind of betrayers, they could be also from Ukrainian side. They could speak Ukrainian, they could be Ukrainian, but yes, one person on the 100% could be such from Ukrainian side. So it doesn't really matter if you Russian or Ukrainian, if you live in long time in Ukraine. But she told all about this, and also she told me that the Kupiansk, the head of the Kupiansk, it was like a first time when Russians reached this city. And some other cities, the heads of the cities, they tried to prevent this invasion. They made some actions to help Ukrainian army, not Russian army. Russians tried to make them collaborators, but they refused to make some relationships with these occupants. Some of them even was killed, and some of them had to evacuate. But this head of the Kupiansk, from the first hours Russians reached the city Kupiansk, he became a collaborant. He was very happy that Russia came to Ukrainian lands and killed people. And this woman I told you about, she said that it's a good example that this head of the Kupiansk did very good thing, that he betrayed Ukrainian army, because Ukrainian army is very weak. We just have some bottles filled by fuel, and we can switch it and make it burn and throw it into powerful Russian tanks. So like Ukrainian army against Russian army cannot do anything. And this head of the Kupiansk is really, really good person, really very wise, so that he became a collaborant. And she said that she admires him. And of course, I was very disappointed about that. And that fact that I had to take food from this person. I am hungry, and I had to take something, and I was very, very disappointed. So because this person was against actually Ukraine, and if Russians will reach our village I live, she definitely would be the first betrayer, because I understood it from her words. Of course, I took the food. Unfortunately, I had to do that, and the my friends, they told me do not be very strict to this woman, do not support this all talks, but inside I was very very angry on her. And on the next time I found the store where I could buy food, and I found how to feed myself in this complicated situation. I didn't attend her at all, and I said that time to her that the how to say, the security service of Ukraine, after this head of the Kupiansk, he betrayed Ukraine. This Ukrainian service claimed him as a criminal, and so he is not a hero. His behavior is not well, and now this maybe half of the year passed, and now we return to this Kupiansk, where when return this information, this news from Kupiansk, and I'm just remember this event. I don't know what happened to this woman. I think she is okay. She's living in Ukraine, in that village, maybe, I suppose, because she didn't plan to go anywhere. So that is my videos, and